if any of you are starting businesses, your first priority or declaration, I must say, is this: one avatar, one client avatar, one channel, $1 million. That's it.
What if you could reclaim hours of free time each week, create legacy building wealth, and devote more energy to your passion projects without giving up on your career as a life-saving MD? Dr. Vikram Raya is a functional cardiologist, high-performance coach, and real estate expert, is here to give you the tools, strategies, and solutions you need to transform your life, unlock your limitless potential, and achieve greatness, all while freeing up your precious time. Welcome to Limitless MD. Let's dive in.
Welcome. We're doing a leverage and growth accelerator session, and I've been blessed and grateful to be asked by the PIMD team to join you guys. So thank you again for allowing me to come and participate in this amazing caliber of folks who are really trying to up-level themselves. All right. Guys, I want to do more of a workshop versus me just lecturing to you guys. I think you guys have enough of that. My goal is I want some brave souls to step up, and literally we're going to build your business right now, right here on the spot. It's going to be rocking and rolling. So all I need is fresh meat. So today's goal, guys, the theme was business operations, business development. So really, I just want to, the goal is let's double, triple, quadruple your business in the next 45 minutes. Let's do it. Let's rock and roll. So Lara, what type of doctor are you? Where are you from? And what's your business?
All right. I'm a family medicine physician. I live in Austin, Texas. Okay. And I have I call it medical matchmaking. So I help doctors to find the practices that really more align with our values. And while doing that, I do a lot of kind of coaching through the interview process, the negotiations, and I help the practices to find doctors as well.
Okay. So if I was a fifth grader, what's a one-liner of your business?
I help doctors find jobs.
Okay. Awesome. Doctors find jobs. Okay. Let me see. One, I'm gonna put everything through the Ikigai filter, right? What is Ikigai, guys? Ikigai is essentially, what are you really good at? Meaning your skill sets. What is your passion or your interest? What does the world need, and what can you get paid for? So I think one, the world needs what she's doing. Number two, she probably is very good at it because one, she's in the profession. I'm assuming you're passionate about it. Is that true, Lara?
Yeah.
And can she get paid for it? Can I get a hell yes? That's a hell yes. So those four, it's really beautiful that she's going to be in the center of all of this. So I see this being very successful. So that's me as an outsider saying, kudos, well done. All right, now, how many years? What's the name of your company, by the way?
Happy Day Health.
Happy Day Health. I love it. HDH, Happy Day Health. And how many years have you been in business?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
Maybe a little more than a year and a half.
1.5 years. Great. And how many doctors have you helped?
That I've gotten paid for? I'm not good.
How many paid customers have you helped?
I've helped probably about 5 or 6 at this point.
Okay.
7.
5 or 6. Okay, great. All right. So now what's the goal for this person? So in my eyes, guys, remember this. If any of you are starting businesses, your first priority or declaration, I must say, is this: one avatar, one client avatar, one channel, $1 million. That's it. So until she hits $1 million of revenue, she's focusing on this one sector and has one offering. So what is your offering?
Okay, so I think this is where I get confused because the people that pay me are the practices, but I consider who I help. Okay, so should we go from that? From the client?
So don't worry about how you get paid. What is your offering? What if I'm coming to you, just like a realtor? The realtor gets paid by the seller of the home, but he's trying to get new people, who want to buy houses.
Okay. So I help them to find jobs where they can be respected and practice with autonomy and not feel like they have to jump ship right after they start.
Okay. So we'll cultivate that, guys. So what we're going to hear is she wants to help doctors find, these things that we all want, but it seems like the language pattern, it has to be sexy. Okay. It has to be really sexy. Why? Because you really want it to be punchy. You want to stand out from the crowd. Each of you guys, probably in the last 12 days, have been on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Some of you guys who are cool and trendy are probably on TikTok. And then if you're really trendy, you may be on Snapchat, right? So there's so much that we're being flushed in our forefront of our prefrontal cortex. So how do we clear all that noise, that distraction? Well, she needs to have something that stands out really strong. So who can come up with a cool title for her? Cool one-liner. If one of you guys can want to put in the chat GPT what she said as well, that would be very helpful, and share that, because this is a real life workshop. We're literally going to create $1 million business. Dr. Hochman is going to have $1 million business by 2 p.m. today. Let's go. Let's rock and roll, guys.
We have Dr. Foley here. He says, helping doctors find best fit practices.
Okay, great. I like that. Helping doctors find best fit practices. So why are you doing this business, Lara?
Because doctors have the best job in the world. And right now, the way it's practiced is like the worst job ever. And we're all leaving medicine and committing suicide. And it's time for that to stop and for us to enjoy our jobs again.
Okay. So it's like helping doctors find their dream jobs on their terms or something like that, right? Doctors find their dream jobs on their terms, right? So something like that. So yeah. So we'll workshop that, but that's sort of the essence. You want a so powerful one-liner that people totally understand what it is. And it's like, and I'm thinking, hey, why don't I just use a physician recruiter? Why would I go to Happy Day Health? What's your answer to that?
Because number one, I totally understand it firsthand. Number two, I am a huge physician advocate and use this as a platform for advocacy. Number three, I will coach you through the entire process from finding a job to interviewing to reviewing the job and negotiations, contract negotiations.
Okay, so I'm hearing like white glove service, concierge, boutique, bespoke kind of feel, and it's for doctors by doctors, right? So those are some of the themes. I'd capture all that if I were you. So for doctors, by doctors, bespoke, concierge or white glove service, trusted ally in your ascendancy of your ideal dream physician job. So now we sort of know what, and if we workshop this the whole time, we'd probably in the end of 1 hour we can come up with that one-liner. But so that's number one. Number two is, all right, who is your dream client?
Paying or?
Okay. Guys, what's the goal of a business?
To make money.
Okay. So the goal of a business is to essentially add tremendous value to the world, to society at large. It's to solve problems for people for pay. All right. So if you're not doing it for pay, then it's called volunteerism, which is great, or a nonprofit, which is also great. But I believe that in the Ikigai, one of the things, the fourth one was, what would you get paid for, right? So you want something that you're really good at, you're passionate about, the world needs it, and you would get paid for it. And I think you found that.
Yes.
How much do you charge?
For practices right now, roughly $25,000.
Is it a fixed fee, or is it based on? Okay.
It's a fixed fee if I find them a doctor. And then every now and then for the harder searches, I'll do an engagement fee to start the search. Okay,
that's a reasonable price. So $25K for a doctor, and on average, what is the salary of these doctors?
Depends on the specialty. It usually runs roughly $175 to $400.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm just looking at my calculator here, and can you guys put in the chat box what a typical recruiter charges? Someone put in the chat box what a typical recruiter charges. And I'm gonna try to see what the percentage is here. So she's 25K divided by, let's say, 200. That's 12%, which is pretty low.
Yes.
So you've only got 5 to 6 paid clients. Is that because you don't have enough leads? Is it because you're charging too much? Or is it because social proof, people don't think that you're actually capable of doing what you say you can do?
You mean like, why don't I have more paying clients?
Yes.
Well, and please all tell me if I'm correct or not. I don't think a lot of practices want to pay someone to do what they feel like they can do, nor do they want to spend money when it's tough for small private practices.
Time out. Penalty on the play. Physician limiting self-beliefs is becoming self-evident. Rewind the tape and let's reinsert new belief in.
Okay.
So first of all, Dr. Lara, you're a badass. You're absolutely amazing. You're phenomenal. And your company is right on point. There's a need in the marketplace. Number 2, you're charging way too little. And in fact, the people that they're doing that they eventually end up, after they try to find physicians and they can't, they end up paying a recruiter a lot more than what they're at charging you, and they'll end up doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So lead generation is your first problem. So how are people coming into your funnel? Are you recruiting practices, or are you recruiting physicians, or are you recruiting both?
I'm recruiting physicians. The practices so far come to me. So I find people in general, when I guest on podcasts, then people hear me and message me through LinkedIn. So I'm relatively active on LinkedIn. So people read my posts and they'll come to me there. I do the recruiter thing where I'll email and text people. And then I'll network with recruiters. And so when they have a doc looking for a job that physician may fit what I'm looking for, they'll send the doctor to me. Okay.
So now, guys, I'm going to switch this into even high gear. I'm going to go and put her onto what I call a mind map. And I'm going to quickly share my screen. And we're going to build out her thing quickly here. Okay. Give me a second. Name of the company is Happy Day Health. All right. Let's do it. So your ideal client is what? What kind of physician do you help?
Physicians who are ready to find a better practice.
No.
No.
Don't you think all physicians want to find that? So who is your ideal client? Because technically there's 1 million physicians in the United States and they're all your clients then. So who is your ideal client?
So physicians who are ready to make a change.
Okay.
They are, I would say, ones that value a practice, like practice autonomy and a good practice culture above all else.
So, Dr. Lara, don't you think most doctors want that? So again, I need something that it's pretty easy to find someone like they stand out from the crowd.
Oh, I was going to say like that's their first priority, not salary.
Okay. So are they burnt out then, would you say?
Yes.
Okay. So they're burnt out due to lack of autonomy, and they're looking for a practice where they're valued. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where do these people live?
They live on Facebook.
Okay. But how will you know that they're there? Like, how will you identify these people? Is there a certain complaint, or is there a certain specialty, or is there a certain age group, or is it a certain region of the country?
Yes, I do understand. Yeah.
Dr. Lara?
I don't know. I mean, I would think all age groups. Am I wrong?
So the narrower you can, like, if I wanted to make your practice the most successful practice, business right now, what I would do is I would narrow down. Hey, I help urologists who live on the West Coast help find empowering practices where they can become partners in 3 years' time. Now I'm like, I can target on Facebook because of that. I can create ad copy because of that. And once they come in, I can show them, hey, look, I have access to 17 or 35 or 49 different urology practices who are looking for people like you. Are you ready to go? Or, you know what? I actually help female urologists find practices where they get the same salary as their male counterparts. Oh, you mean female urologists don't get the same as males? Why is that? You tell me.
Okay.
So help me help you.
I don't know, because I have practices in different specialties. So
I know, but you've only helped 6 people for money.
Right.
So really, you have a fresh blank slate ahead of you.
Okay.
Remember, niches are in the riches. I'm sorry, riches are in the niches. Sorry, the other way around.
Okay. Well, if I could narrow it down, I'd probably narrow it down to primary care, which would be family medicine, pediatrics, and OB-GYN.
Okay. So peds, OB-GYN, and who else?
Family medicine.
Okay. Yeah. And it's nice because then you're very narrow niche down. You start forming those relationships, and then it's not, no one's saying you can't expand out afterward. Okay. And you can say, is it probably mid, if you just started your fellowship, it's probably, or started your practice, it's probably not, they're not burnt out yet, right?
Yeah, probably
mid-career.
Yeah.
And guess what? A mid-career physician, they're much more likely to move, and money's not the most important thing at that point. And then what I would do is also, like, what's your offer now? So one of the books I want you to read is Alex Hormozi's $1 Million Offers, or $100 Million Offers. Have you read that book?
No, but I own it.
Okay. Well, I want you to read it.
Okay.
So guys, anyone who wants to create an amazing offer, $100 Million Offers, Alex Hormozi, and also follow him on YouTube. Phenomenal marketer and business leader. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to create an offer where it's they feel stupid saying no.
Okay.
So I guarantee what? What are you going to guarantee me?
Okay. I guarantee, let's see. So a job where you can be excited to wake up in the morning.
So those are all very generic things that no one can really measure or touch.
Work-life balance.
Still very soft and touchy.
Dang it. Okay.
Okay. So look, I can guarantee you a high six-figure salary, autonomy, and literally the last job you'll ever need.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Last job you ever need. And then you can even make something smile, like a job where, something like I don't know, a job you get excited to go to instead of like you're dread to go to, or something, like something along those lines. But like, you got to make it where it's like very discreet, and a peds person, an OB-GYN person, a family medicine person, they see that there and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's exactly what I want. And so you may want to interview people who are very happy with their jobs and say, hey, why do you love that job? And once you hear the buzzwords and languaging, you use that because that's what people want. And it's very hard to find those doctors. So if you do find a doctor that's really happy with their job, let me know. I want to interview them too.
They're all the practices I work with. They all love it.
Yeah. So talk to them and say, why do they love it? Why do they love it? Okay. What about it is attracted to them, and have it something more tangible, because if it's all the touchy-feely words, it's not going to compel anyone to move forward when you get them into your funnel. Okay. So we got the $1 million offer, $100 million offer. You know your ideal client. Okay. What's your business team look like? Who's on your business team? And I'm assuming you're a solopreneur, but go ahead.
Yes. Okay. So it's just me. And then I have 3 VAs.
Okay. So anytime you have a business team, my friends, you need a visionary. The next person you need is an integrator. The next person you need is sort of an ops director of operations. Eventually you'll need, then what we'll do is we'll take sort of customer service of whatever that is in the medical profession. If you're doing a medical, if it's in real estate, if it's entrepreneurship, you'll need a finance person. And at the beginning, you're like, oh, what the heck do I need all this, Vikram? Your name is going to be on all these boxes. Don't worry. But if you read a book like E-Myth by E-Myth, Michael Gerber, Scaling Up, Vern Harnish, Traction, Gino Wickman, they talk about creating these this org charts and things, and just to have all of this and know that as you grow, eventually you bring in like a VA, you bring in another person. But at the beginning, you need to have all this. And then during your week, you spend time in all these positions. Hey, right now I'm in my CEO time. Hey, right now I'm doing my finance time. Hey, right now I'm doing marketing. Okay. So that's how we go from being a mom and pop solopreneur, mompreneur, doctorpreneur to being a high level, high income, 7, 8, 9-figure company. And you can do this in 6 months, a couple of years, and you can get to that level. So finance, marketing. Let's see, what am I missing? Marketing, finance, operations, customer service. We can come up with more later. But so great. So your VA, what kind of VAs you have?
All right. So I have one who does sourcing. So she sources positions.
Okay. So that's
and gets their contact details.
Okay. So that's sort of either operations or service, probably. So VA for sourcing.
I have
sales. That's another one. You need sales. Sorry. There you go. Okay.
I have one as an executive assistant.
Okay. That's your integrator, essentially. You have a VA up here.
And then I have one who edits my videos.
Okay. That's your marketing. Okay. Got it. So do you see, guys, how that everyone fits in here? Like, it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. I've had a concierge, cash-based clinic, same structure. I've had a real estate private equity company, same structure. I have a coaching company, same structure. Peter has multiple businesses, same structure, guys. Okay, good. All right, so now let's talk about marketing. How many conversations are you having a month?
A month?
Yes.
Oh. With physicians or with practices?
So sounds like you need to have conversations with both. So let's capture each one. So let's do docs and practices.
Okay. So practices would be less. So I'll start with that one. I probably speak with roughly 4 practices on average a month.
4 practices a month. And how many docs a month?
Depends how much I'm in clinic. So maybe 50.
Okay, great. So what's the bottleneck? Is it practices or docs?
Docs.
Okay. So let's focus on docs, guys. How do you get these docs right now? What are your marketing channels? You said LinkedIn. And
LinkedIn,
what else?
YouTube.
You have a YouTube channel?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What else?
Podcasts. I guest on podcasts.
Okay. What else?
Word of mouth.
Okay. What else?
Referrals from third-party firms, like other recruiters.
Okay.
Or lawyers or whatever.
Okay. What else? Is that the main ones?
Those are probably the main ones.
Okay. I'm going to stop my screen share for a second. I'm going to speak to you guys in living color here. Pay attention to this, guys. You guys are doing way too much and getting too little for it. The reason is, does she have a 100-member team? No. And you're working in clinic? How many hours you work?
It varies. I do locums.
Okay. But on average?
On average, probably 2 days a week on average.
Okay. So she's working 2 days a week. And family, friends?
Yeah, I have kids.
Kids?
Yeah.
So
friends,
she's a busy person, right? She doesn't need to, she has multiple marketing channels and multiple, sources for places. So for her first $1 million of revenue, we need to focus, learn to say no to most things so she can say yes to the right things. Pareto principle. 20% of the things she does gets her 80% of the results. So let's focus. So I want her to say no to most of these things and double down on the few things that make sense. So let's go back to that mind map. What would you say percentage wise? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So technically, if they're all equal, it would have been 20% of where you're getting all your people from. Where would you say you're getting the most of these docs from?
Referrals is number one.
Okay. So how much, what percentage would you say?
Probably 50 or 60%.
50 to 60%. Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's number two?
Number two would be podcasts.
Okay. How much percentage is that?
Maybe 20%.
Okay. That's almost 80% right there.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
LinkedIn would be next.
Okay. How much is that? 10%?
10 maybe?
Okay. Guys, the YouTube channel should be killed at this point. Kill the YouTube channel. Put it on hold and don't add any new YouTube videos ever until you hit $1 million revenue.
Oh my gosh.
This is the way a business person thinks. A doctor thinks, oh, let me continue to spread all my energy diffusely among all these spaces. And I hope and pray that the happy day health will one day be a happy day.
Okay.
So double down. I would even podcasts don't even make sense at this point. This referrals, where are these referrals coming from? I would dig into this deeply.
Okay.
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from other recruiters and lawyers.
So I would literally go talk to those people every day. And I need you to go from 50 to 100 to potentially 150 docs per day.
Okay.
Do you have a booking link?
Yes.
Okay. So, and what's your minutes per doc you have to talk to? Is it 50 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
It's normally 30 to 45.
Okay. Don't do 45. Keep it 30.
Okay.
Keep it tight, keep it light, keep it right. Okay. So 30 minutes, boom, in and out. And then that initial conversation, that screen should be captured. You should have a virtual assistant, artificial intelligence transcribing as we speak. Do you have a CRM where you capture all these people? What do you use?
Yes. It's called Loxo.
Excuse me?
Loxo, Loxo. It's specific to recruiting.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. I'll put
But I didn't say the R word.
What is the R word?
Recruiters.
Oh, okay. Okay. We don't use those words. Okay, good. Luxo is her CRM. Okay. What other technology stack do you use? Do you use Google Sheets? Do you use?
So I use all of Google Drive.
Okay, good. What else?
I use Calendly, which I'm going to probably switch over to TidyCal.
Okay.
I use something called NCHCR. It's a you can put down their recruiting network.
Okay, great. Do you have something for your VAs? You manage them on Trello or something?
Yeah, Trello and Slack.
Okay. All right. I think that's enough. Don't add any more technology.
I have more technology.
Yeah. Remember, there is caveman, then there is technology that makes your life simpler, and there's excess to technology that complicates and slows you down.
Okay.
So try to be in that middle sweet spot, right? Okay. Because the more technology, the more pieces to your stack, the more complexity, the more things break down, the more problems, right? Okay. And you don't want friction. You want to have effortless, seamless efficiency. So you need to get to 150 docs per month, and you need to charge $25,000. That's fine. And once you hit $100,000 of revenue, I want you to raise your fee to, 35, 45, 55, whatever you think is appropriate, but keep raising your fee because this is a white glove service. And then is there a website you have and all that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, but does anyone come to your website?
Sometimes.
But it's pretty rare. Is it rare?
They go to it from a podcast or from LinkedIn. They don't just randomly happen on it.
right now, LinkedIn, I don't want you to spend energy. YouTube, word of mouth, website, don't even touch it. It's podcasts and referrals at this point.
Okay.
And ideally, the podcast should be of lawyers and what's the other one? And other recruiters.
Mm-hmm.
The recruiting podcast, lawyer podcast, and then whatever their agency that you were. That will get you your 150. Now, do you have slots for 150 people in a month?
No.
So that's your other problem, your availability. The other one you can think about is you can hire high ticket based commission people to start taking calls for you if you have a script, if you have a certain way of doing things. But I wouldn't do that yet until you sign another 5 to 10 people.
Okay.
And make sure you're recording all of that because you want to create a process. See, the goal to becoming from a solopreneur to becoming a true business is you want to have systems, you want to have teams, you want to delegate, and you want to create processes so people can follow what you're doing. Because right now she's the cook, the bottle washer, the saleswoman, the podcast woman, the LinkedIn lady, everything. So you want to, once you learn something and you can teach it to somebody else, do that. And then take your stuff out of that and then start doing things that are the highest and best use of your time. Do the things that only you can do. You know? Do what you do best and delegate the rest. Cool. Let me ask any questions from the audience for a second. And then Dr. Lara, you think about some things that you want to ask me as well.
Okay.
So, and anyway, I'm here to take on another business if anyone wants to do it. Dr. Foley asked why YouTube on hold. Great question. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. So I love YouTube, trust me, but I have a much bigger team than Dr. Lara does, right? I have a YouTube team. I have a LinkedIn team. I have so many teams, so I can go after multiple channels. But she is essentially a one-woman show with a couple of VAs. And when I asked her where she's getting the most traction from, it was from referrals from a certain group of people. So if she just doubled down on that one thing, she'll hit her 150 doctors she wants. So I really believe in, the Pareto principle, which is essentially few inputs yield to the most amount of outputs. So with limited resources, we have to narrow down our resources and focus on just those things that are going to get us to our goals quickly, fastly, to the best of knowledge. YouTube is right now producing only 5% probably, or less than 5% of our leads. Why would we devote almost 30% of her time, which only gives us 5% of the leads? And that's why I asked her to put that on hold. I hope that makes sense. Ikigai, great. So Kirti's asking the Ikigai. So guys, Ikigai is just a topic, people used to call it major transformative purpose. In some Eastern philosophies, it's called Dharma. In Peter Diamandis, one of the futurists, calls about major transformative purpose. Simon Sinek talks about what's your why. It's really your purpose for being. It's a Japanese word, and so it's essentially. I asked her, what is she really passionate about? And she's like, I'm really passionate about helping these doctors get this better life, better job. Great. What is she good at? Well, I'm in this space, so I know what doctors want and I know what practices want. Okay, great. I can put them two together. I'm a matchmaker. Great. What does the world need? Well, we're at the brink of a existential crisis for physicians. Wouldn't you agree? I think I've seen so many physicians have problems. On one of my podcast episodes, I had this lady who's telling me 14% of all OBGYNs are committing suicide. 100,000 doctors are leaving the profession every year. So yes, I think definitely the world and physicians need it. And the last one, can you get paid for it? Is it something you're willing to get paid for, or does the world want to pay for? And the answer is absolutely yes. I mean, look at these recruiters. That's why our phones, our texts always get blown up by recruiters. I've been out of cardiology for almost, 6-7 years. I still get hit up. Hey, you want to come out of retirement and practice here? I'm like, I'm good. Thanks. So it hits all 4 of her criteria. So it makes sense why, she'd be really good at it. But the problem is clarity. Her ideal client, she's like, yeah, I help every single doctor. Hey, offer. Yeah, I help you get a practice where you feel worthy and happy and fulfilled. Yeah, just me and my VAs, we're just chugging along. Yeah, I have a ton of technology. Oh yeah, these are just the first 5. I have 10 more pieces of technology. Marketing, yeah, I'm on website, I'm on LinkedIn. I do some TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, word of mouth. and I have postcards, and I also hold a sign and I flip it around on corners of streets. I'm being facetious here, but you know what I'm saying. So do you see how it's going to be very hard for her to hit things? And I respectfully called her out, and I also challenged her. I think this can be $1 million business. This is a 7-figure business that's playing a 5-figure game, right? So that's why I'm pushing her, because I'm planting her seed where she can go. I'm also giving her some of the infrastructure needed to be successful. Guys, if you want to have a one-on-one with me, just reach out to my team. We can set up these, and I have a coaching program here called Limitless MD. We have different levels of offerings. We're launching a new program called MD Ignite that's helping people launch their 6-figure businesses. Very reasonable. And then we have we have a mastermind me and Peter created called Freedom 5 Mastermind. That this is what we do to help people for a year long get things going. And then finally, I have my elite level coaching, which is called Project Titan. Man, we just take you to that next level. So it doesn't matter how you want to do it, but I'd be happy to do a complimentary session for anyone in LGA, because the LGA are my people, my brethren, my sisters and brothers. So anytime, but happy to help anyone out if anyone wants it. In the meantime, keep rocking it. And I'm excited for all of you. This is a good time to start entrepreneurship as a physician.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Limitless MD. If you found value from this episode, I encourage you to share this episode with a friend and let me know by leaving a review. For more information, make sure you check out the links in the show notes below, or simply visit vikramraya.com. Until next time, be phenomenal.